got all the love in the world for these guys. You know, talking about Children's Hospital, the way they've touched my family's life. My daughter, she was born November 2001. November 2004, I was on a hunting trip. My wife called and said, "You need to come home. Our daughter's got pneumonia." And I go home. We take her to the doctor. They send us to Children's Hospital. They said, "We won't send you to Children's. They've got such good equipment. We need a good X-ray." So we go to Children's, and the next day we find ourselves back at the pediatric clinic, and they come in and they tell us they found a mass. You know, so we go straight back to Children's, and she was diagnosed with a neuroblastoma. And they told us, you know, to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. They told us the truth. I mean, they were straight up honest with us. They didn't beat around the bush, but they took us in with open arms. I mean, I kid you not. You know, it takes special people to work in this place. And I mean, it's just full of angels. I'm talking all the way down to the janitors, the people that sweep the floors. You know, it's not just the doctors and the nurses. It's the people that check you in. You know, your receptionists, your secretaries. I mean, you don't see a frown in the place. I mean, the people greet you with smiles. They will stop what they're doing just to look at you and smile and try to feel where you're coming from. So, you know, the doctors, you know, they told us to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. The morning she went in for surgery, the surgeon came in and he told us, he said, I don't think I can get the whole thing out in one shot, which was going to mean chemo, radiation, and just you know, it was going to probably cause a lot of problems. And you know, it seemed like a day went by before they came back in. You know, it's just my wife and I walked around that hospital just tripping. And a little bit later, they called us in. They had to come find us and get us back in there. And the surgeon walks in and he looks at us with that look, like you're like, "Man, what are you fixing to say to me? You know, tell us, spit it out." And he shakes his head and he says, "Those weren't my hands and your daughter. There was another set of hands in there." I said I wasn't gonna cry. He said there was another set of hands in there. And you never know who your angel's gonna be that day. You know, this was my angel. Couldn't find out I had an angel working on my daughter too. You know, he was as amazed as we were. He got the entire thing out without having to touch it. Therefore, they kept it from sending excretions to any other part of her body. The week after next will be 5 years. A couple of months ago, Samantha was put on low risk. She was put on low risk. And from now on, any of her tests can be ran at the pediatric clinic. And she's cancer-free to this day. I want to say thank you to Children's Hospital from the bottom of my heart, from my family and I. We love you, and we love everything that you stand for. And, you know, they do the research, like they said. They do the research. They find this cancer, you know. Car tie zaps this stuff. You know, you got car tie for kids. Children's Hospital, they run hand in hand together. You know, they rock. We love you, Children's Hospital.
And you know, hey, before you guys leave, I got a surprise for you guys too, because you know, Ben came over to my house and he was like, "Man, I've got something on my heart. We need to write this song that's came up on my heart." And I said, "Well, Ben, I don't know that I can do it. You know, sometimes it's hard just to sit down and write a song, but we did, didn't we, brother?"
I'll never forget that night. We sat down and actually talked about it, and we decided that, you know, it might take a year.
Right.
I had wrote the whole song in its entirety, and I wadded it up and threw it in the trash. And I thought it was too generic. And then that's when I called Jason, and
we did it up right.
We sit down that night, and we said, you know, this could take a year. And 6 hours later, I'm squalling. I just got tears running. My shirt's wet. And he's shaking my head, and he's looking at me, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. He said, "Dude, I couldn't imagine." He said, "We just wrote one heck of a song."
And you know, the good thing about this song is we named this song "In the Hands of an Angel," but my surprise to you tonight, Sam, is we're going to change the name of this song to Samantha's Song. She came into this world on a cold November's Eve. I swear she had a halo and and a set of wings. And as I picked her up and I held her close, I began to pray. And then her little hand reached up to me and softly touched my face. And in the hands of an angel, I was standing that day. I was proud and I was strong, but I was scared all day long as I set out for whatever come my way. And there were times I was nervous, and there were times when I thought I was gonna break, but in the hands of an angel, everything's gonna be okay. He came into our room 3 years to the day. He gave us very little hope with what he had to say. And my wife and I began to cry. The tears rolled down our face. But then a surgeon that we never knew became our saving grace. And in the hands of an angel, we were standing that day. We were proud, we were strong, we were scared all day long as we set out for whatever come our way. And there were times we were nervous, and there were times when I thought we were gonna break, but in the hands of an angel, everything's gonna be okay. And 4 years later, as we stood there with her right next to me, well, she throws her arms around my neck and whispers so softly. She said, "Daddy, in the hands of an angel, where I was standing, oh, that day, I was proud and I was strong, but I was scared all day long as I set out for whatever come my way. And there were times I was nervous, and there were times, Daddy, when I thought I was gonna break, but in the hands of the angel, everything's gonna be okay. In the hands of my angel, everything's gonna be okay. Samantha song, y'all. Come on out here, guys.